Hello there, chocolate fudge. Have you seen Gary's OnlyFans? He's been really slacking lately. Look how shiny he is. I mean, he's still trying to put in effort, but he ain't impressing me. The crypto markets, they are starting to realize something. So if you just got the memo now, the SEC is going after Coinbase, okay? The SEC went after Binance. Now they're going after Coinbase. They also have these coins. They allege the following coins are securities in the Coinbase lawsuit. So they've added more coins. I've just got to let you know again, watch my previous video. I would not personally be taking any chances with these coins. Solana, Cardano, Matic, Filecoin, Sand, Axis, Chiliz, Flow, ICP, NEAR, VGX, don't know what that is, Dash, and Nexo. Personally, I would not be taking any chances because of what they did to XRP. Now, with XRP, just to let you know, XRP still went up. You know why? Because XRP is linked, its liquidity, to Bitcoin. So this happened. Many people think XRP was going to go higher, but it was actually doomed to go the whole way. Why would you take that risk? That's all I'm saying to you. Why would you take that risk? They choose old coins which are already cursed. So why would you be allocating your capital in there? You just have to think. So you are facing an uphill battle, and you've been warned. The SEC taking on Coinbase. The SEC is scum. But in this video, you probably want to know, who does the SEC actually work for? Luckily, your friend Somi here is going to tell you the truth. The truth is, okay, the crypto markets are now waking up. They're realizing that the US Federal Reserve uses the SEC as a corrupt puppet arm wing. Yes, the SEC is just a little rat. It's on the puppet string. So you got the puppet strings, the banks, right? The SEC is just this little ding-dong here. It's a little rat, okay? Draw a little rat tail. He's a little rat with your little eyebrows and little eyelashes as a rat. So that's what the SEC is. They are just a little henchman. They are not the actual big final boss. The big final boss is the Federal Reserve themselves. But don't worry, we are so small, we're nowhere near that battle. Even if a battle even happens, we don't even know. We're so early when it comes to that. So JPMorgan and the Fed, they're both scum. They are behind Garbage Gensler. So he is the head of the SEC. He is the snake. But when they take him out, there's going to be a new snake. Keeps growing back. It's like a hydra. It's not really solving the problem. If the political view of him gets too negative, which it already is, they're just going to put someone new. They're going to smile to your face for 6 to 12 months, and then they're going to continue doing the evil bidding in the background. So why do they do this? A lot of people want to know, like, why? What do you mean they work? The SEC, they say they work for the people. Look, if you work for the SEC, good luck to you, because there are people I know out there, they got families, they believe they're doing the right thing. It's very clear you're working for one of the worst, most corrupt organizations in America that are completely destroying retailers and who are just serving the upper banks. But look, you got to do what you got to do. If you want to feed your family, you got to do whatever you do, all right? But at the end of the day, the SEC, what happens is you have the big IMF, you have US Fed, you just have the Rothschild, just have the banking cartel, all of these guys. That is the guys who make the money. They press the printer button, they make the decision to press the printer button, they actually make all the currency. It's like they're the Bitcoin miners or the Ethereum validators. They make the money. That's just how it works. But they can't go around stepping on everyone themselves because there's only like a couple of hundred people up here. So what they do is they have wings, all right? They have wings. And one of their wings is obviously JPMorgan. There's other ones, don't worry about the names, but JPMorgan's one of the wings. JPMorgan own the US Fed. So you can't even find on the Federal Reserve, like, who owns the US Fed? There's not even any proper information about this, right? This is funny. On the Federal Reserve website themselves, look at the first thing they have to tell you. The Federal Reserve System is not owned by anybody. This is a complete scam, lie. Yes, it is owned. It has private owners. They just don't tell you who owns it. It's buried within so many shadows and backgrounds. All right, so don't worry about this garbage. There's another wiki here. Who really owns the Federal Reserve? It's funny, you go down here and they don't even explain it. They just give you a lot of words and all this other garbage here and there. This could be an insider website for themselves as well. Thebalance.com. You can balance nothing here. So, the Congress. Wow, all these things. Wow, the bank members. Why the Fed must remain independent? Like, honestly, if you honestly believe that they are independent now, I'm sorry, please. You know that 7th vaccination? You're going to need an 8th one. Because that's just exactly what all the evidence shows. They're not independent at all. We know this, right? We know this from 2022. You saw what they did to your bags. You see what they do. It's obvious, it's clear. Anybody who's on the side of them, you know, they're a bit cuckoo. These are the people, they're just always going to follow whoever's giving them the instructions. These are the types of people to do that, all right? And that's exactly the type of people that they love to breed in the education system. So that's it. It's just cool. These people are always going to be part of society, by the way, because humans, we have an innate ability just to follow the leader. That's it. We just want to follow who's in charge, and that's how it is, okay? So we know all of it's a load of baloney. You can't even really find who controls the Fed. It's funny. JPMorgan on the Federal Reserve for Wikipedia is only mentioned. Look at this. JPMorgan. Look at this. You see that? Only 2 entries? That's very strange. One of the owners is JPMorgan. That's funny how they don't even talk about him. Leave him in the background. They mention him once. Federal Reserve Wiki. So this is all by design. They do this on purpose. It's obvious. You know how I know this? Because if you put me in charge, this is exactly what I would do. Exactly. So you can even find out who does the SEC really work for. Of course they work for them. Because they have to defend the sanctity of the US dollar. US dollar. And I'm going to do money. The US dollar, the sanctity of the US dollar must be defended. Because they're pressing the printer button. They have to control their power. They need a bid for it. So they control the supply, but they need a constant bid. They need people working for it. They don't want people to go through the alternatives. That's also why they manipulate the price of gold. Okay. So JPMorgan is one of the owners, and there are many others. And they have a lot of deep, shadowy ways. You can't even find out really, but it's all by design, of course. And they say, no, it's for independence. And somehow, mysteriously, whenever it comes to the media, it always gets buried. They're like, shh, don't talk about it. This rises every once in a while, but then they just get hushed. Always. Because, of course, they got access to the money printer. They can literally just say, name your price. I'll print it right now. Just stop talking about this and move on. They've done it straight away, right? They own the organizations anyway. So the SEC is a puppet winger. SEC, and they are going to be rats. That's all they are. The SEC is controlled. So here's, for example, JPMorgan. I'm just going to show you, right? So you got the puppet strings, okay? Puppet. I don't know if there's a puppet emoji, friends. There probably is, and we're going to have to take a risk here. No, there isn't a puppet emoji, but it's good enough here, right? So JPMorgan controlling the SEC. You probably want to know why. Like, why they actually do what they do. Well, it's very obvious when you think about it, because you see, society and the money system only works when the mass population are in it. Why? I just explained to you. These guys control the supply of the US dollar, but they need someone to bid it. They need demand. Who's going to demand it? Well, everybody in the system needs to work for it. That's why your wages, you get paid in your fiat currency of your country. And also America, to maintain international dominance, they need everybody to pay in oil. That's why. So anything on the ground which may threaten finance or the energy system, which is oil, the SEC has one of the little binoculars out there. It's their watchman. It's the banking cartel scum. This is their watchman. Their watchman is to go and look and have first dibs on whatever happens. So now here comes crypto. You're like, here comes crypto, right? By the way, it's not that they just want to target crypto. They target anything. If you made a company that is really efficient with energy and doesn't need oil, they'll take it a step further, by the way, because, you know, crypto isn't even the first rank. So first priority. So we're actually second priority is crypto, right? Which is just taking on the banking system, right? First priority equals competing with oil. I've never seen more dead people in my life who mysteriously get disappeared than everybody who's working on super efficient methods of energy in their backyard, in their garage, people who make it, who win like these science fairs, everybody who finds a way to get self-propelling energy and electricity and you don't need to use oil anymore. See you later. You literally get disappeared. Right? There's a famous documentary was going to get made, but the documentary maker himself, he was doing some research into Rothschilds and oil, and he was actually researching the tech. He was going to help release the tech of one of the scientists. I think this guy was like Turkish or something. He lived in Europe somewhere in his garage, and he was going to help release it. Now, obviously, the higher-ups found out about it because it got leaked to the newspaper here and there in like some random suburb in America. And what they did was they killed him. This dude got a hyper-aggressive form of cancer within 3 months. That's what they do. So I don't want to say them, but if you're watching this, the Kia, can you see this? The Kia, all right, they have weapons. They don't really go out there. Yes, they can put bullets in people's heads, but they also have very aggressive forms of radiation poisoning. You know, there are many people who are whistleblowers where they get super aggressive forms of cancer within their jail cells. So obviously something gets leaked into their food. They pay off one of the guards. That's how they get rid of you. That's how they get rid of you. And it all looks like, and then I'll just say, oh, it's natural causes, whatever. Oh, suicide, even though his head's missing. You know, that type of stuff. So that's how it really works. So crypto, I know it's cool for us because we can participate because we're dealing with the internet, but the actual one is oil. All right. That's why crypto people, most of us are still alive. But if we were going after the oil, we are finished. Okay. So the SEC going after crypto, right? What they want to do is stall it. So that's the number one goal. They are smart. These people are literally evil geniuses. They're not stupid. They're not out of touch. Whenever they're out of touch, they know how to control the levers. So they are not silly by any means. They know they can't stop this tech. They know that, but they don't see it like that. What they do is they have a plan. So their goal, number one goal, the SEC's number one goal is to stall the crypto industry for an extra 1 to 2 years. This allows JPMorgan. So JPMorgan is just my word for the banking cartel, right? So banking cartel to get tentacles in. And there will be an octopus emoji to signify. Oh, these are very cute octopus. Look at you. This cute little octopus. Okay. There'll be to get their tentacles in. So this is what happens. To read again. The SEC's number one goal is to stall the crypto industry. So that's why when they do these things, when they're like, hey, let's go and call everything a security, right? I can even show you, friends, right? I can even show you. You can just see this is not a coincidence when you have a look at it because they went after all the coins in like the top 10 to top 20. This is not an accident at all. Okay, this is not an accident. So you see this picture, everybody loves this picture. Look at this. It just shows you, okay, they just went to the top ranking. They're like, whatever, just go for the top ones. BNB, XRP, Cardano, Solana, Polygon, Tron. Funny. They just went straight after them all. And more, of course. All right. So that's what the actual aim is to do. Now, there are people that work on the SEC. They've come and appeared on some random threads about Hex, blah, blah, blah. No one cares. We know what you're doing. Yes, you are going after, yes, some dude scams people for $40,000. They don't really care. That's all political show. That's just to tell people, hey, yeah, we are looking after the people, but we really know they're not. All right, we really know it doesn't really care. They're just janitors. You're sweeping the rugs. That's doing nothing. All right, this is their number one goal because if you go out and see what they've been trying to do every single time crypto makes a leg up, you'll see it's obvious. They keep trying to make a blockchain. Have you heard about JPMorgan chain? Have you heard about JPMorgan? Oh, no, they're trying to make their own like stablecoin and stuff. Yes, they're trying to get their tentacles in. That's what they're doing. And every time it gets in, a bit of it gets leaked or they release a bit. They want to test the waters. That's why. Have you noticed how they're starting to recruit people? They're starting to get a leg up. Well, actually, they're not really getting a leg up because they actually really don't know effectively how it's all going to run in the future. That's why they're trying to just get their hands in. That's why they own MetaMask. They literally own MetaMask. They want to stalk everybody's IP. They want to see what everybody's doing. That's why Swift, they're trying to get into Chainlink because Chainlink's going to connect all of them. So that's what the SEC is actually doing here. The SEC is a low-rank, trash organization, complete scam. But you see, because all of us in crypto are together, this is where they screwed up. You know, in crypto, right, our chart, this is the thing, right? This is what they've never seen before. So what I'm going to tell you is going to blow your mind. In stocks, when stocks go up and then they go down, everybody goes to the government. Everyone. And they say, kill this CEO, capital punishment. Take him out. This is a scam. Everything's a Ponzi. Everything's a scam. We demand action. We demand action. They go and put political pressure because people lost money. That's in the stock market. Do you want to know what happens in crypto? In crypto, we go up, it goes down to zero. Some people complain, but the government doesn't listen because we're irrelevant. Now, this has been the Achilles heel for the government because in that minus 99%, which is what it is, right? In the minus 99% drop, we actually got stronger. So the government should have stopped this many years ago. But of course they can't because they never really know it was going to take off. So in the fiery pits of hell, we get forged. Diamond hands get forged. And so crypto is making higher lows with every base going on. I mean, I can even show you here. Quick, this is total crypto market cap. You can see, right? Even total. You can just see even with Bitcoin. You don't even need to look at this. It's going higher. You can see this going over time, right? And this is obviously much, much, much smaller. We used to be less than $1 billion market cap, less than 100 million. Now up to 3 trillion. We are making higher lows. We are marching forward. This is a threat to them now, but that's why they don't get it. That's why we're actually strong. So when we all capitulate and collapse, the fact that we don't get saved, there are some cockroaches who survive the nuclear fallout. And this is the SEC's worst enemy because it's now JPMorgan's worst enemy and the IMF and all of them together. So what they expected to happen when they manipulate and they crash us down, which is obviously what they did in 2022, they put the interest rates high, they're trying to take it all down. I've even shown the posts where they do these coordinated attacks to say Bitcoin's unstable, all these other things, right? They really want everybody to walk away. But what they don't know is the HODL meme is one of the greatest inventions we ever made. HODL. When I say this word, everyone knows what that means. Literally, hold on for dear life. Every single person, the humans, we can abstract these things from just one word. So when we just say HODL, we all know, well, it's going to zero, it's going up, that's it. But I'm not leaving. When you say that, we stay empowered and then they don't. And so with every high or low step, as we come back, now we become annoying and then a threat, and then they really want to ban us as you go up and up. But in this 99% drop, that's why it all happens, because they help cause it. You know, in 2018, it was well documented when they did the CME futures, there were very many mysterious deposits, very many exchanges made where there were like enormous accounts trying to destroy Bitcoin. Thousands and thousands of contracts coming on to absolutely crush it to zero, and we survived. So now they have to just turn it up, right? They have to use their next level of weaponry that they have. So don't forget here, that's what it all comes down to. The SEC's goal is literally to just stall the industry. Buy them an extra year. That's all it is. Because they can't stop it. But they know they can't stop it, but they know there's money here to be made. And when there's money, there's power. And so they have to get in. They just have to get in. So whether they believe the Bitcoin will even rival the US dollar, I don't know if they actually really believe it, because if you know what the government's really hiding out there, then you won't be surprised that they're not really that scared at all. But this is why all the cookies are crumbling the way they are. So yes, sometimes you're going to have a look at Gary's OnlyFans. Yeah, it's been slacking a bit. Look at this. Sir, the crypto market is pumping on your security attack news. So that's the funny part. We pumped on the news. This is when we become an actual danger. All right. This is when we go down to a 5-minute Bitcoin pumping on this news. Bitcoin pumping on this news is very dangerous. Now they're like, what? What's going on? You see, in the stock market, they never get to this point. You know why? Because whenever they hit capitulation, they print money immediately. Everyone in the stock market is a zombie company, is a zombie investor. They don't know pain. They don't. But in our pain, we got stronger. Now, that's the risk, right? So that's why it's been an experiment for 14 years. We don't know, are we going to get stronger? Or are the people who are the existing crypto value holders, the biggest accounts, are they going to hit a point after year 5, 6, 7, 10, and they just go, I'm all out, and they ruin everything? That was your risk. Now, obviously, we are still here today. That was not a risk. You got the reward of that. The people continue to hodl. So that's why it hasn't been done before. Do people eventually give up? Do they just hit a point where they just stop out and they just get out? No, it kept growing. This is the beautiful part to understand when we see this together. So now you see what's all really the truth. And of course, Jim Cramer is bearish. Jim Cramer saves the crypto industry again. He gets asked if he thinks this SEC scum attack is an existential threat to the whole of crypto, and he says yes. The inverse oracle god has spoken.
I think that if you are in a series of coins that were mentioned, and we all kind of know them, we're talking about Solano, talking about Matic, Cardano.
Yeah. So look, obviously he's trolling, but yeah, what his view is not trolling. So this is the whole thing. He knows the game, but hey, he's bearish. He thinks it's all a scam. It's all going to zero. All right. So now what do we actually do? Now that we know this information, we know, all right, their whole goal is to stall crypto. Their whole goal, they know they can't actually really wipe it out to zero unless they pull out the emergency nukes, right? So we know that SEC is just a puppet wing arm. That's all it is. They just control JPMorgan. They're working for someone within the inside who obviously gives them the lead. They're like, hey, you got to put the brakes on. You got to put the brakes on. They have all of this and everybody knows, what can we actually do about this? Not much. All you can do is use this as a signal. This is conviction to hold. So the fact that the SEC is still the boss here, that is very bullish for me, because the SEC is not the real boss. All right. The SEC is the level 1 little troll boss. You're level 12. He's going to drop a helmet, +8 strength. It's going to level you up, maybe give you a bit of maximum HP, but nothing like the big guns, friends. Nothing like the big guns. When would the big guns come? I've made some videos here before. I'm going to show you again. This is just my guess. And I made this guess a long time ago. I made this guess back in 2019. I'm not even joking, back here. When I did all my research, 2019, 2018, I believed crypto will hit their emergency alert sirens if we actually got to this yellow box up here, which is gold's market cap, around there. Even if we got half of gold's market cap, I think that's still dangerous. Because you got to think about it. Just think about it like this. You can use deductive reasoning. If gold is such a problem that they manipulate it at 10 trillion market cap, then clearly Bitcoin at 10 trillion market cap will also have their emergency manipulation tactics. Do you see what I mean? Now, we don't know where it actually starts. Do they consider 250K, 5 trillion to be the emergency? I don't know. That's the risk we take. But one thing I do know, it's not at 1 trillion. That's how we use this to our advantage. You better pray that you are long enough so that if they try to scam us and stop us, if Bitcoin hits 80K, 100K roughly there, you better pray that your bags are packed so that you can think with a rational mind. Tell mom and dad that you love them, friends. Like, subscribe, bell button all.